Hi everyone, so now we are back, okay, to continue with the next part, which is to study about the um, uh, adjusted payback period and also um, IRR, and then we will follow on with basic NPV and subsequently advanced NPV. All right. So, how do you do an adjusted payback period, or what is the concept of your adjusted payback period? So, let me share my screen. Let's talk about it first, and then following that, I will do a question with you. Okay, hold on. Can you see my document one? All right, okay. Now guys, so I just want to remind you, okay, when we do the adjusted payback period, right, what is the concept of your adjusted payback period? So here, adjusted payback period. All right. So now when you talk about adjusted payback period, the concept of the payback period, of the adjusted payback period, is exactly the same as the concept of your payback period. So what is the difference? The only difference is that in the payback period, okay, in the payback period, you were calculating um, how much time it will take for your investment to pay back the amount that you have invested. So example, if you have invested about $30,000, how long it will take for you to get back the $30,000. So that is the concept of your payback period. Now, when you talk about the adjusted payback period, how is it different from the payback period? So it is different from the payback period because in your payback period, you did not account for time value of money. So there were no discounting involved. As for the adjusted payback period, what you need to understand very clearly is that you incorporate time value of money. So, adjusted payback period incorporates time value of money. But the concept remains exactly the same. So the concept is how much time it takes for you to get back the value that you have invested. The only thing that guys you need to remember is that here, when you talk about how much time it takes to recoup your investment, you are not looking at net cash flow anymore. You are looking at present value of cash flow. So whether you notice or not, here now I have to discount my cash flow. So still same concept. What is the concept? The concept is how long it takes to recoup the initial investment. All right, now so you need to use the discounting technique. When you talk about the discounting technique, you need to ensure that all your net cash flows are discounted. So remember, in your payback period, you had 3 columns. You had column year, net cash flow, and cumulative cash flow. This is your table for the payback period. For the adjusted payback period, so this is payback period. For the adjusted payback period, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add one more column here, actually 2, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have year, net cash flow, okay. You will have discount factor, present value of NCF, and cumulative cash flow. Now, so you can see here that there are there are two additional columns, which actually it's not much different. The only difference is that you need to use the discounting approach. So normally the discount factor, it will be given in the question. All right, it would be given in the question. Examiner will tell you what discount factor he wants you to use. And also you need to understand that when you calculate the cumulative cash flow, you are calculating the cumulative cash flow based on present value of net cash flow. So remember, your year 0 will go here, then you add this and then you bring it back here. You know, this will be positive normally, so you add this, then you get the cumulative cash flow. You do exactly the same thing. When you want to find the number of years, it will be year, your month will be the negative CCF over positive PV of NCF multiplied by 12. All right. Now, it's not really that difficult. Actually, I would say it's not even difficult at all, because you guys already have the basic. You already know what to do. So what I want you to do is that you make sure you have practice a few questions, okay? And when you practice the questions, I also want you to remember that these practice questions has to be somewhat similar to your examiner's approach. So I am going to give you a few questions, okay, that you can use here. You can use as a basis to gauge whether you understand the knowledge on adjusted payback period. So just give me a moment. Let me look for the question. Okay, let's go back to the question that we did for the payback period question under your investment appraisal lecture examples. All right. Okay, this should be familiar to you. Now, what I want you to do is, can you write for me an alternative? That means this is example number 1. Number 2, calculate the adjusted payback period assuming the discount factor is 10%. So like I told you, examiner will give you the discount factor. All you need to do is to calculate what is the payback period, but when you incorporate time value of money. So adjusted payback period. Okay, now, so I'm going to do it here. Okay, year net cash flow, discount factor. In this question, your discount factor is 10%. PV of NCF, cumulative cash flow. So remember, always start from year 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. My net cash flow was 62001200. Okay. $2,200, 2,500 and 1,700. Okay, let's just hope that this will become positive in the end, because the discount factor is just too high. When the discount factor is too high, your profit becomes lower. There is a possibility this does not become positive. 0.909, 0.826, 0.751, I think 0.682. Let me see. 1.10 to the power of negative 4, 683, not 682, 0.683. Now, discounting. Okay, let's just hope this will become a positive value. Oh no, 909. So this is 10. Oh my god, I have a feeling this might not be positive. 6. Okay, if it doesn't become positive, guys, we'll just use a lower discount factor later. Okay, but what is important is conceptually you understand what's happening. 1878 0 multiply 0.683 1161. Okay, now cumulative cash flow, let's just hope and pray that it becomes a positive, which I have a feeling it's not going to be positive. Okay, negative 6200 plus 1091, this is negative 5109 plus 1817, negative 3292 plus 1878. Here it's negative 14. Oh no, guys. Plus 1161. So here is negative 253. So for this question, okay, I'm just going to make an assumption. Okay, for part 2, okay, can you just add on to the assumption, because I want to show you how it works. Okay, so can you just add on, assume cash flow at year 5 is equals to 1900. Just assume, okay, because I want to show you how it looks like. So now just add on a year 5, 1900. Okay, so 1.10 to the power of negative 6, this is 0.564 by 1900, this is 0.0723. okay, negative 253 plus 1073 is 820. Okay, so your payback period, you can see it is exactly the same concept. The only two things that I have added, okay, the new ones are this and this. All right, so your payback period will be year 4, okay, and then 253 over 1073 multiplied by 12 over 1073 multiplied by 12, 3 months. So 4 years, 3 months, or 4.2 years. All right, so just be careful when you do the years and the months. Just be careful that you know exactly what you are doing, because if not, then you may get confused on what actually the value is. All right, now if everything is very clear, let's move to the next concept. All right, the more significant concept, right, or the more important one for the FM paper. But before that, I'm just going to quickly run through my notes, because in my notes you are able to just have a very brief summary of the adjusted payback period. So just give me a moment. Yeah, okay. So, oops, sorry. Okay, so for the adjusted payback period, right? So another term, okay, that you use for adjusted payback period is also called as the discounted payback period. So comment. Okay, so it's also called as the discounted payback period. I don't know why my pen is not working. Okay, now what it does, or what the discounted payback period calculates is, okay, it calculates a payback period. The only difference is that you discount the cash flows to bring it back to present value. Okay, so discount the future profits to current terms. So it finds, again, the concept is the same, number of years to calculate the initial investment, to cover the initial investment. So the only additional information that we will add here is this. Okay, discounted cash flow, present value of net cash flow, and cumulative cash flow. So the only two new information that you have is the discount factor and your net cash flow, your present value of net cash flow. The others, everything else remain the same. For your decision rule also, the concept remains the same, where you will need to calculate or you need to accept the project with the lowest payback period. Why do you accept the project with the lowest payback period? Because a project with a lower payback period means that you get back your money faster than getting it later. So it's good because you get back your money faster. So that is the concept of your discounted payback period. Now, I want to bring you through how to calculate net present value first. A very simple one, not the difficult one or not the elaborate net present value that normally you calculate. How do I calculate net present value? So net present value is actually the net amount of the cash inflows minus cash outflows. So net present value is actually the net amount of cash inflow and cash outflow that is discounted at the WACC, or another word for it is cost of capital. Okay, so I want you to be very clear that when you are calculating the net present value, it is actually the net amount, okay, your net cash flow, you discount it and bring it back to present value or current terms. All right, so a very simple one. The reason why I want to teach you, I want to show you what is net cash flow first, is because I want to do the IRR prior to doing the net cash flow, because NPV, because NPV is more elaborate, a lot of things that we need to learn. Okay, now how do we calculate NPV? So to calculate NPV, I'm going to show you one example here that I have. I actually remember putting it somewhere here, but I can't find it now. Okay, I'm going to give you my own example. Okay, assuming that year cash flows, okay, year 0, 1, 2, 3. Your cash flow here is 2,000. That means your initial investment is 2,000. Your cash flow every year, this is 900, this is 1,200, this is 1,500. Let's say the cost of capital given for this question. So here, the cost of capital given is 5%. Calculate the net present value. Okay, so to calculate the net present value, what you need to do is you first need to discount all your cash flows. So guys, always remember, I will always advise you to use this concept. Year 0, 1, 2, 3. All right. So in year 0, my cash flow is 2,000. Here 900, 1200, 1500. My discount factor is 5%. So here 1.000 Okay, guys, let's now calculate what, or you can just copy and paste um from your table, okay, but I will suggest you to learn how to use the calculator, or you learn how to use the Excel, because then it makes your life a lot easier than expected. 0.907, 0.864. Okay, now calculate the present value of cash flows. So 2000, okay, 900 multiply 0.952, 857. 1200 multiply 0.907, 1088. 1500 multiplied by 0.864, 1296. So net present value is actually the net amount of your cash flows when you have discounted it to present value. So here, your cash outflow is in year 0, negative. Your cash inflow is in year 1, 2, and 3. So the net cash flow is outflow minus inflow. So if you net off all this, so you take 2000 minus 857, minus 1088 minus 1296, okay, minus 857 minus 10, so you get positive 1241. Another way to calculate is you just put negative 2000 plus 857 plus 1088 plus 1296. You get a positive 1241. So when your NPV is positive, you will accept the project. Why? Because your cash inflow exceeds the cash outflow. So when your NPV is positive, you will accept the accept the project, because your net cash flow is a positive, means benefit exceeds your cost. If your NPV is negative, you will reject the project because your cost exceeds benefit. So are you guys okay so far? All right. So moving on, okay. Since you know how to calculate your NPV, your basic NPV, okay, this is not even basic, guys. This is like very, very, very simple NPV calculation. Yours is a lot more in detail. Okay, so since you know how to do this, I'm going to proceed to calculate your IRR. All right, so what is the concept of IRR? Okay, so let's talk about IRR now. Okay, IRR, guys, is very simple. It's very straightforward. So I would suggest you to not stress about it. It's very, very easy to calculate. I've never seen a more easy concept in your paper. Okay, so the first thing that you need to understand is what is IRR and why do you calculate IRR, right? So IRR, internal rate of return, right? What is this internal rate of return? Why do you calculate the internal rate of return? What is the function of calculating the IRR? So you must understand that the reason why you calculate IRR is because you want to know what is the return that you will get for the project, from the project. So IRR is not only a calculation of return, but also the IRR is the return when the NPV is equals to 0. That means when your project break even, what is the discount factor that you get, or what is the benefit that you get? So let me just write this. Okay, so IRR is the return that is generated by the project. Okay, or another term is IRR calculates. Sorry, looks very ugly. So basically, you are calculating the percentage when your project break even. So normally, when you are supposed to make a decision involving IRR, what you need to ensure or what you need to be very sure of is number one, not only is IRR the return of the project, you need to also understand that you will not pay the investors the IRR percentage. All right, even though the investors expect you to pay them at the um, IRR percentage. Why is it so? What is the reason that you don't pay the investor at the IRR percentage? Okay, the reason why you don't pay it is because that is the percentage that your company project earn. Imagine if you earn 20% and you pay exactly 20% to your investor. Is there anything that you can gain as a company? I don't think so. You're not going to earn anything. So, what normally you would do is you will earn 20%. You will pay the investor at a lower percentage. Example, you pay them at 12%. So the remaining 8% you will keep in your company for reinvestment, or also you would just keep it store it for and in your retained profits for you to be able to maybe in future use it to dividend or something. All right. So as what I've explained just now. So if the IRR is 20%, normally the company will pay investor at a lower percentage. Example, 12%. Then the remaining 8% they will keep within their company. Now, guys, I just want to inform you, I just want to remind you that when you are making a decision of a project, let's say you decide to pay your investor 18%. Let's say this is the amount that you decide to pay your investor. So it's a discount factor, it's your cost of capital. All right. So when you decide to pay your investor at the discount factor of 18%, you must ensure that the project will yield a higher return than 18%. Example, you will yield at least 20% or 19% or 18%, something that is higher than 18%. All right, you cannot accept a project which has a lower return, because then it means that you are paying the investor more than the return your project is generating. And when that happens, it means that your project is not beneficial because cost exceeds benefit. All right. So when you are making a decision using the IRR approach, so as a decision making rule, always accept the project with a higher IRR, or if IRR is more than your discount factor, because discount factor is your cost, IRR is your return. So in order for the project to be beneficial, your return have to exceed cost. Okay, are you all okay? So now I've been talking about IRR, but I haven't taught you how to calculate yet. So what is the formula for your IRR? So your formula for your IRR is A plus NPVA over NPVA minus NPVB multiply B minus A. So you must remember that when I say A is the lower discount factor. NPVA is the NPV that you generate with the low discount factor. NPVB is the NPV generated with the higher discount factor, and obviously B is the higher discount higher discount factor, higher percentage of your discount factor. Okay, now guys, please pay attention to this sign. You must put this as negative. Your signage has to be correct, because if you don't put this correctly, if you happen to do it wrongly, your answer is going to be wrong, and when your answer is wrong, the examiner is going to penalize you for doing the wrong thing. Okay, now, so how to calculate the IRR? Okay, I'm going to show you a very simple calculation. Later we will do a more difficult calculation. All right, so as of now, let's just do a simple one first, and then we proceed to calculate the difficult question. Okay, let me share screen. All right, here. So in this question, you are required to calculate the IRR. So when you want to calculate the IRR, the formula is A plus NPVA over NPVA minus NPVB into B minus A. Okay, and you need to identify which is the higher percentage and which is the lower percentage. So look at this question. A project has NPV of 15,000. Okay, the project has NPV of 15,000 when discount is 6% discount factor, and a negative NPV of 3,000 when it is discounted at 12%. So this should be NPVA. This is A. Here NPVB. This is B. So to perform the calculation, now A is 6 plus 15,000 over 15,000 minus negative 3,000. So guys, remember I told you, be very careful of the signage. Okay, multiply 12 minus 6. So what is the answer? So 15,000 over 18,000 multiply 6 plus 6. This is 11%. Okay, so for this particular question, the return of the project is 11%. Okay, you cannot make any decision. There isn't anything that we can do because I have not taught you or I've not given you a comparative figure yet. All right, so with this, we have actually completed the entire IRR and also adjusted payback period. It would be great if we can proceed to do a question on IRR. But what I will do first is that I will try to complete the NPV basic, and then I will do a lower level paper question, and after that I will add the difficulty, which is your advanced investment appraisal. Okay, it's advanced for your FM, but if you go to AFM, it's a lot more advanced than this. So in our AFM, I call it the advanced investment appraisal. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video for the calculation. Sorry, for teaching you how to calculate the basic NPV. All right, so see you guys later.